Hello, my name is Jackson Kliewer, and this is the Tiger Hiline Online. We have some great stories to bring you today, including my story on the UNI physics competition, Colby Coonradt stories on Bighouse, a Christian teenage program, and the Active Minds Mental Health Walkout, Paul-Adom Boeteng's Prom Slideshow, Jack Jorgensen's story on the high school tennis team, Paul's Rugby Slideshow, and Daniel Mitchell's stories on the Cupcake Wars, and an interview with the rapper LyRiKaL TMG. This is my story on the physics competition. At the McLeod Center on the UNI campus, high schools from across northeastern Iowa came to participate in the regional physics competition. Arriving early in the morning, the team from Cedar Falls got right to work testing their contraptions constructed for the day, with a sense of anticipation in the air, handling all last details before the time has come to be judged. Many other students utilize the large space provided for testing as well, ensuring a smooth run in the contest. After the last-minute checks, the Cedar Falls physics team lounged together and chatted, waiting for the competition to start. Dara Holstein was one of the students there to compete.
We had a design, but then I wanted to change it to be able to make it longer so we could have better placement at the state competition, and so I've been doing power hours and before school to work on get a new design. So I'd say a good amount of time.
Megan North has also worked hard for this day.
We have hit a couple rough patches, but with the help of Mrs. Lang, I feel like we've put in as much as we can give to the competition.
With the contest commencing, Cedar Falls first took part in the catapult category. Soon afterwards, they proved their skill at bridge building, where they must place their bridge into a large crank that applies differing degrees of pressure to see how truly resilient their creations are. The race car was next to go, designed to function on a winding system that was set before their turn.
I don't really know.
Accidentally halting before the finish line, it was unable to cross, despite working completely fine in test runs. It goes to show that even in science, we are all at the whim of luck or misfortune. Miss Olson, the leader of the physics club, explains how one gets into the competition.
Generally what we do for these projects is we have the kids design the projects in class as a class component or a class project. And they kind of do, like an engineering notebook type of a thing, and we do a mini little class competition, and then whichever kids do really well are able to then come to regionals and then of course state competition. I know that my bridge builders probably have put a lot of hours into their project. A lot of kids don't really realize how much actually goes into building those bridges until they start gluing lots of toothpicks together, and then they realize that it does actually take quite a bit of time. They've done a really great job, and I know that some of the kids, they might not think that their projects are very great, and then all of a sudden they work really well and do exactly what they're supposed to, and they get really excited about it, and so that's always awesome to see as a teacher. So.
When time came to see the results, none from Cedar Falls got first place, but the students enjoyed seeing the creations of others and left with a maturing love for physics that will only continue to grow. This is Jackson Kliewer reporting for the Tiger Hiline Online. This is Colby Coonradt's story on Bighouse.
Bighouse is a Christian-based program that invites everyone to try out the joy-filled Wednesday nights. Bighouse provides students with worship music and then a Bible lesson. Following the lesson, students break off into their small groups to discuss the lesson. Bighouse not only provides a safe place every Wednesday, but also mission trips such as Gads Mountain and the week-long caravan trip. Bighouse and these mission trips have changed the lives of students and staff. I look to the eyes of a small group leader, Dan Gertis, to discuss how he sees Bighouse impacting students.
A community of fellow Jesus followers that you all get together on a Wednesday, but you see each other at school throughout your week, to know that you're not alone, that you have people doing it with you.
Milo Simpson is a CFHS student and also the drummer for the worship team. I asked how Bighouse has affected him.
Originally it was just like to come here to see people and stuff, like chaos I guess, but it's definitely helped me with a lot of stuff, like drumming in front of people.
Alice Sheehan works part-time with Nazarene Lutheran Church doing high school ministry. She has spent a lot of time working along students in their journey with Christ. She has now seen Bighouse and its effect on students and herself.
The cool things that happen when we get to build relationships with high schoolers, and the cool things that happen not only for them but for us, the amount of learning and growth, and then discussing faith and getting to ask questions and talk about our doubts and our fears, and also like where we see God at work. I have had support when I felt low and lonely, when I've had doubts and struggles.
This is Colby Coonradt reporting from the Tiger Hiline.
This is Colby's story on Active Minds.
The new Active Minds group at CFHS held their first mental health Out of the Darkness walkout. Students participated in a similar walkout at UNI, so they worked together to create their own. Students ditched their bags and set off to support each other. Members of the walk left rocks with writings on them to remind all students that they are loved and have support. This walkout really affected our students by letting them know that they are loved and they are not alone on their journey. I asked Sophia Manus, an Active Minds member, why it was important to put this walk together.
We put together this walk to just show how many people in our school do care about advocacy for mental health, and to just make sure that everyone feels at home and knows that they're not alone in their struggles.
Suicide rates have increased by nearly 25% in the last decade. Suicide now causes more deaths than car accidents per year, so for this walkout to happen and many more in the future, it is essential for protecting our students and reminding them that they have support.
For me, it was really powerful just seeing everyone that came out and everyone that cares about mental health, show that I've gone through mental health struggles, and so like seeing that I really am not alone was important for me.
I asked the school counselor, Mrs. Deacon, what surprised her about this walkout.
For students to take a risk, I think, to put themselves out there and try and break the stigma. I mean, that's really what it's about too, is this is things we can't talk about and it's okay, and not to be embarrassed, and a lot of people have problems and that's okay.
This is Colby Coonradt reporting from the Tiger Hiline.
This is Paul-Adom Boeteng's Prom Slideshow. This is Jack Jorgensen with tennis. Unfortunately, the team's season has ended, but Ben Campbell and Pranav Chandra are competing as individuals at state competition this weekend.
On this Friday, May 10th, you could catch the Cedar Falls Tigers males tennis team heading down to Cedar Rapids Prairie to compete in the district meet. The district consists of Waterloo West, Marshalltown, Cedar Rapids Kennedy, Cedar Rapids Prairie, and Linmar. The district meet will send the Tigers to state if they win. Sophomore Pranav Chandra explains why Cedar Falls tennis team is going to take first in the district meet.
Because we practice every day. Like today we have practice from 3:30 to 5, and we're just going to keep preparing for districts and our events during districts.
This year, the Tigers have high hopes of beating Linmar, with many people returning on the team. Neil Shaw explains why his team is going to take first in the district.
Last time we got really close to beating Linmar and we didn't have a number 1 and 2 seed, so I'm pretty sure this time we can easily beat Linmar. So if we win districts, we'll go to state, and I'm pretty sure we'll win districts.
This year, the Tigers put up their best record since 2013 with a record of 12-5, which means that they're going to make a run. Now is the time. This has been Jack Jorgensen reporting for the Tiger Hiline Online.
This is Paul's Rugby Slideshow. This is Daniel Mitchell's Cupcake Wars.
What are you doing right now?
Frosting cupcakes.
For what?
Cupcake Wars.
Cupcake Wars is an amazing annual occasion that gives kids the chance to show off what they've learned over the year of being in foods and nutrition to their teachers and other classmates.
Yeah, so Cupcake Wars is when students in Foods and Nutrition 1 each get to choose a display based on a theme. So this year's theme was kid's birthday party, and then they get to choose their flavor of cake. This year everyone chose vanilla. Sometimes it's different. And then we make buttercream frosting, and then they could come together as a group to build their display. So as you can see. I think everyone turned out really good. I'm proud of how they came together. The day before is always kind of like a little nervous just because they're still trying to learn to communicate. I think that's the big thing, is even though they have some planning time until they get started, they just don't know how to separate out jobs. So I think everyone came together today.
The goal was like come up with an idea that fits that. So like we're doing a castle with like princesses, knights, and a dragon.
We're making Thanos.
Thanos?
Yeah.
While teams come together to create their theme, some have fallbacks on their previous work they started the day before. How's it coming along, Tom?
I get it. If the
It's so bad.
injured, then it would be a catastrophe.
You think it's gonna come together by whenever you guys have to do it?
All right, I'm gonna quick show you.
Well, we left our stuff to freeze, so now we gotta wait for it to unfreeze.
I am piping cupcakes for the Cupcake Wars, and this is a baseball field. Kind of in the making.
So this is your theme, the baseball field?
It is.
So what are the graham crackers on the top supposed to be?
Those are gonna be players eventually, once I find the right spot for them.
And in the end, Batter Up came in first place. Castle Catastrophe came in a close second. And Thanos came in third.
No one thought we could do this. We proved them all wrong. We did.
This is Daniel Mitchell for the Tiger Hiline, signing off.
This is Daniel's LyRiKaL TMG interview.
LyRiKaL TMG, one of the most well-known names in Waterloo, Iowa. His artistry spans from producing, graphic designing, and so much more. He has gone around the world bringing people joy with his talents, and his multi-talents continue to grow as he moves forward in his ventures.
What's going on? It's your boy LyRiKaL TMG, producer, artist, graphic designer, videographer, business owner, entrepreneur, kind of do a lot. So originally I began producing. I started all the way back in high school. I started skipping lunch and going to the music room, playing on the keyboard, kind of making beats on there. So eventually somebody introduced me to Fruity Loops. Went home, downloaded Fruity Loops onto my computer, a little demo version, started making beats on all my free time. So this was years ago. So I kind of, just stuck through it throughout the years, and began to perfect that craft or whatnot, tried to, and eventually got a hold of some studio equipment, microphones, speakers, and all that, and started recording. Started with like a small group of friends, and then started recording other people that was around the area. Kind of outgrew my basement and came here to this establishment called The Studio, downtown Waterloo, 819 Sycamore. And just keep going up from there. So many doors have been opened. Countless shows, show opportunities, opening for all kind of different artists, from major artists to up and coming artists. Kind of traveling, touring the United States, just going everywhere, doing shows, pushing CDs. Got to be on a couple Tech Nines tours. Sold beats to Strange Music, actually been to Strange Land. Everywhere from Atlanta, LA, all throughout the Midwest, New Orleans, Texas, different festivals, till recently, China, Thailand. I'm going to Hungary in June. So I mean, it's opening so many different doors. Not even just as an artist, but as a producer, as you know, just somebody that likes to network with different people, different artists, different creative individuals. That's how I met my wife, through music. My partner, my business partner, that's how I met him, through the music. And I mean, it's just, man, there's so many doors. Like, I have a lot of different inspirations. Now, more than ever, you know, my family, my kids, you know, my wife. But seeing our city really thrive. You know, we get overlooked when it comes to music because we're in Iowa. We get double overlooked because we're not even the capital of Iowa. Being in Waterloo, Iowa is definitely overlooked, you know, by everybody. So it's like we have something to prove. You know, we have something that needs to be heard, seen in many different aspects. And I feel that push and that drive to really make noise from our city is a huge inspiration because we have so much talent here. So like, it's ridiculous how much talent we have. Biggest accomplishments, like music-wise, business-wise, I think a major accomplishment is our facility, our building. You know, we have a recording studio, photography studio, virtual reality arcade. Just our business, that is definitely a major accomplishment. Being able to travel and perform overseas is a huge accomplishment. You know, going to visit different cultures, eat different foods, you know, see different people, and get embraced by these people. You know, like it's genuine love all around the world, and the couple places that I've got to experience and we're blessed to go to. Those are probably the greatest accomplishments right now. I really I wouldn't want to get like a Kanye famous or, you know, Chris Brown famous or nothing like that, just because I have kids. I want to be able to go places, you know, and not be hassled everywhere I go. I mean, I kind of get enough of that now. That's kind of, I don't go out much, you know, like nightclubs or anything like that, because it seems like there's always somebody that wants to rap to me, and I really wouldn't want that kind of pandemonium around myself and around my kids. You know, we go to anywhere, like if we went to Atlanta or, you know, just went to a Disney World or something like that. And it's, you know, it's just, I wouldn't want to be bombarded by people like that. Right now we are currently expanding our studio business. We had an extra room that we started a new business, which is a virtual reality arcade. Testing that out, really kind of moving forward with that kind of heavy, because it's something different, something new. A lot of people haven't experienced virtual reality, especially with the technology that, you know, we have in-house, and just want to share that experience with different people and let them have fun. And this is something to do differently in the community. You know, all age ranges can try it and go to a different world. So right now, scheduled to perform in Hungary. Be out there from June 13th to the 21st. Definitely ready for that amazing experience. As soon as we get back, my wife is putting together a show called Set the Stage, and that's going to be at East High this year. I believe it's the 22nd. So as soon as we come back from this long flight and get to do, you know, what I can to help out on that show. Definitely expanding the studio. We're going to start recording live bands and people with live instruments. Adding that to one of our rooms here. I don't know.
Wherever the world takes you.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, that's all I got for you. That was kind of killer. Yeah.
Is that decent?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Okay.
For real.
That's all for this week, and as always, we hope you have enjoyed it. Make sure to watch next time when we bring you more stories from the heart of Iowa.